So let's talk about Wales and let's talk about a possible Welsh team that could take on South Africa. My long-running joke on this channel is whoever organises the Welsh fixtures must be a sadist because they're always crazy hard. They don't tend to ease into things either. At the end of this tour, they're playing a club game, which maybe should have been at the beginning. But anyway, they start with the world champions. And yes, I know it's their first game for a long time as well. But goodness me, Wales aren't in the best spot anyway. They've got Lewis Rees-Zammit in the NFL. George North has retired. They've got quite a lot of injuries. Adams is out. Beard's out. And it's outside the test window, so they can't even play their English-based players. So this is tough. So Gatland has called on reinforcements. The Japanese-based players of Liam Williams and Corey Hill, they're coming in, and surely they're going to start. He's wisely called up the young back three Josh Hathaway of Gloucester to get him in the Welsh camp. At the moment, is he performing at an international level? Well, no, but he's got that potential, and to get him away from England as well is always good. Rested for the summer, injured, whatever you want to call it. We've got Rowlands, Adams, Alex Mann, Ryan Elias, so they're out as well. He has dropped cold Johan Lloyd, who was pretty disastrous in the 2024 Six Nations. Loads of ability, but really a scattergun, made a load of mistakes, so he is out completely, which is tough because they're only taking one out-and-out 10, and we'll come to that. Other back rowers that have been dropped who may well have been in there were Tane Basham, James Botham. They're very physical. Morgan Morris has been performing very well, and he is out as well, so some head scratches there. But some good news with the World Cup co-captains of Jack Morgan and Dewey Lake. They are returning. That is really good news because they need some good news. The Welsh scrum in the Six Nations wasn't the best. I was expecting Nicky Smith back, but he is not in the loose heads, and they've picked a stack of tight heads to kind of search for their best front row. So it's a little bit desperate, dare I say, but against South Africa, they're going to have to front up, that is for sure. So I am a little bit worried. Thomas Williams, who I always think is their best 9, he is injured. Ellis Bevan comes in to take the third scrum half spot. And like I said, at 10, they're only really taking Sam Costello as the recognised 10. And Gatland's basically said all the other 10s are too small. Well, Costello's pretty small anyway, but Gatland said that Ben Thomas is an option, Jacob Beetham's an option. They're big guys for sure, certainly a bit more physical, but is that a long-term solution? So it does look like Sam Costello is going to play all or most of the games, that is for sure. So let's pick a Welsh team that could face South Africa. And like I said, there's loads of problems here. They can't pick those English-based players. Tomkins can't play, Dylan Lewis can't play, Daffyd Jenkins, Tommy Raphael, Chris Schwinzer, all players that could well have been involved. So I think they're going to go with this, or this is the team I would go with. Let me know how you would differ. Gareth Thomas, Dewey Lake and Azarati as the front row. How are they going to go against the South Africans? I just don't know, but I think Dewey Lake is the future, so let's get him in there, probably the present as well. Elliot D on the bench with Domachowski and Henry Thomas. Is that the best scrummaging units going? We will see. Second rows, well, there's only really 3 to pick from, so Ben Carter goes with Corey Hill. I think that's fairly clear. Matthew Screech has been around for ages with the Dragons, and he's the only other one available anyway, so he goes on the bench. Is that bench going to be good enough against the bomb squad? Yeah, I'm not sure. We saw Mackenzie Martin in the Six Nations, and what a physical specimen he is, but early days for him, but that's pretty exciting. Mackenzie Martin at 6, the returning Jack Morgan, I think, at 7 as the captain, and Wainwright at 8, so that's a decent back row. They would have preferred Rafael in there as well, of course. Tame Plumtree is an exciting player, so he has to go on the bench. I think he's the only one left anyway. Gareth Davis would start for me with Hardy on the bench. They're both very good scrum halves. All the pressure on Costello. Now, Mason Grady looks like he's down as a centre on the squad list, so let's put him down as centre, although I'd quite like him on the wing as well, but there's not many centres left if you want Ben Thomas on the bench to cover centre and 10. Owen Watkin at 13, so a physical midfield, which is good to help Costello out. On the wings, I think it's going to have to be Rio Dyer and Keelan Giles. Now, Dyer and Giles are definitely a very small wing pairing. You definitely start Liam Williams at fullback for that experience. I don't think you expose Winnett to South Africa yet. He can come off the bench. Now, ideally, if you had Ben Thomas there, he covers 10 and 12, like I say. So you could have a 6-2 split if you wanted, or you could start Ben Thomas and have Grady on the wing, which would be great. But you can't have a 6-2 split because there aren't any second rows or back rows left, unless you chuck another prop on there, which would be unheard of. But against South Africa, maybe. So I don't think they can do a 6-2 split. So I'd say it'd be Hardy, Thomas and Winnett on the bench for the back. So I think Wales could be in trouble here. If they come out with a decent performance, even win the thing, that would be unbelievable, but they could be smashed as well. It just feels that Wales are making this a little bit harder than it could be with the time that they're playing South Africa. Anyway, let me know what team you would field. Like, subscribe, that would be amazing, and I'll catch you next time.